Hi everyone. This is what happened to me when I got government housing part 103. And I'm just doing this video so you guys know that I'm still around. And I just wanted to put it up so you can keep following my story. And I would like you to keep commenting and letting me know, what you think of the videos and everything else. It's a little bit short, but that doesn't matter because I'm still going, and we're nearly finished. And so as you go along, you'll be able to get a good picture of what was actually happening. Okay, so on the 23rd of the 4th, 2018, I had to go back to the pawnbroker to borrow more money. I pawned the last piece of jewellery that I had, which meant that I had nothing left to pawn if there was an emergency. But I needed money to buy food, which I guess is an emergency really, but anyway, given the violence that I was subjected to, I mean, an emergency could have meant anything for all I know, but so now that I was doing that, and I was had spent all my money, or had no money left, or my income was too low to cover all of the expenses that were added onto my budget through having to fight my way through the justice system. I had been completely depleted of all my money and all my resources, and it got to the point where I couldn't sleep. And when I say I've been depleted of my resources, what I mean is, I don't remember if I mentioned it before, but I probably did. But I was able to sell some of my possessions online, and obviously I was pawning my jewelry, and my jewelry was my assets. So I was losing my assets and losing my resources, and obviously I lost my washing machine and dryer, which were assets as well, but that was through criminal damage. But as you can imagine, it was really hard to to sleep at that time. Ironically, when the respondent was living there, it was hard to sleep because he kept banging on the ceiling, and because of the disgusting smells that were coming from his unit into my unit. But when he was gone, I couldn't sleep because of the stress and the strain of everything that was happening. I hadn't started working on my application for compensation because thinking about it made me nervous. And the amount of evidence that I had to present to the court was drowning me. I had no idea where to start, and I dreaded seeing the respondent and his lawyer again, but there was no way that I could get out of it. The only way for me to get compensation was to go to court, and I had to get through the court hearing whether I liked it or not. I was being pushed past my comfort zone 100 times a day just to get through the things that I had to do in my life. And now I was being pushed again to face these disgusting people in the courtroom. But I thought if I got through and I was able to show the judge my evidence, I would be able to get compensation and my life would go back to normal and I wouldn't have to suffer anymore. So I tried to start on my application for compensation, but my mind would just go blank. And that was a problem that became increasingly bad. Like, if I tried to approach something and my mind would go blank, I would have to avoid that. But if I tried even harder to approach it, it would be like I was passing out or, similar. So that was quite hard to deal with. And I'll explain more about that, later in on the series, probably after we finish the final court hearing, because I want to, tell everyone about the after effects of the court hearing as well. Excuse me. I also wanted to make a complaint against the VCAT member who refused my application for compensation for the washing machine and dryer. But I felt so burdened with all my other tasks and responsibilities that I wasn't able to start on that either. And, now that I'm looking back at it, and now that I've got the opportunity to tell you guys about it and to reflect on all of that, you have to say, well, maybe that was part of the intention. If it's possible that people in the justice system were conspiring to all refuse my claims, which they did consistently refuse applications that I had, it could be seen that the intention of that was to burden me with so much work or with so much distress that I was unable to keep going, or that I was unable to appeal or unable to complain and so forth. I mean, you hear stories about evil insurance companies who burden people with administrative tasks or make people jump through hoops until they die because they don't want to pay out a claim. Like, say, for example, if they have a sick person, there are stories about certain companies giving them the runaround to delay their claim. And if they successfully delay their claim long enough until they die, they may or may not be able to be a claim made on that. And I'm not picking on insurance companies. I'm just using that as an example because I think it is a very good example, because it's probably the best known technique of that sort. And I don't know why people don't consider that sort of technique in other areas of their life, and they really should. I mean, sometimes, if you doubt yourself and you think, maybe I'm not doing things right, maybe I'm not addressing things correctly, and if people successfully gaslight you into thinking that you are doing the wrong thing when you're simply, making a claim like you should, but it's unsuccessful, that's a really successful way to stop people from getting what they should get, whether that be compensation or to be awarded something or to even to be understood. So that was something that I definitely didn't think about at the time, but it's something that, now that we can all look back at it, that is something that should be considered. And by all means, if anyone has any similar experiences, let me know. So on the same day, still on the 23rd of the 4th, 2018, excuse me, in the afternoon, some people started working on rebuilding my back fence. And I didn't know who those people were, and I hadn't received any notification from the Office of Housing that they would be attending. And these people lowered my clothesline without asking me if it was okay. And then after they lowered it, they actually didn't put it back up again. And when they left, the work was incomplete and it was unsafe, because, there was still access to my backyard. So here we have this common theme of my property, or what I felt was my property because I was leasing it. And, I feel that I have rights and a right to enjoyment and a right to use this property. Here's another example of how I was just walked over the top of, and that people managed to give me this feeling that I was nothing more than a temporary tenant, and that I was just camping, and this was a work site, and the fact that I was living here was an inconvenience for them. And also that they didn't need to consider me. I mean, if those people that put my clothesline down considered me and my needs as a human, and one of which is to wash and dry clothes, they would have put the washing line back up before they left, but they didn't. People, and I'm not just talking about the public servants involved, because these, may probably have been private contractors for all we know, just walked over the top of me, walked through my property, and did what they want, regardless of the effect that it had on me. And it happened again and again and again.